Ra speaks. See through all eyes. Hear through all ears. Be the voice. Be a bee. Pollinate. Feel the beauty. See the beauty. Be the beauty. Wrapped in supreme happiness with maximum efficiency, minimum effort. The highest good of all concerned. The law of one. Shine, you diamonds, shine. Good day. This is the Diamonds Network with Raw Speaks, Show 4. So, with Elizabeth Diamond and Christopher Stephen Jacobs. Welcome, Christopher.
Yeah, good. It's good to be here today.
Great. Okay, just to let you know, this is Show 4, and we're following Episode 4 on GaiamTV.com. Go there. It's only $10 a month. It's TV of beauty. It'll build you up in beauty, where David Wilcock and Corey Good, the Whistleblower Secret Space Program, are doing, I heard David mentioned a series of 52 shows and maybe more, he said. So that's Cosmic Disclosure with David Wilcock and Corey Good, GaiamTV.com. We're Episode 4 for them and Show 4 for us. And that show was titled Life on the Research Vessel. So they talked about the man in the moon. We go into the moon, the United States of America in 1969. You know, there's intel out there, Chris, that man on the moon thing was fake, and there's other intel that it may be real. According to Corey and them, they did land on the moon, and it was real, but the beings on the moon didn't like that much. So, regarding us landing on the moon or anything like that, any points you want to bring in regarding that subject?
Yes. I do believe we landed on the moon. I think that other story was put out there just as more of a disinformation gag on the part of the cabal, just to get people to look a different direction. I've always believed we went to the moon, no matter what some of the other people say. I've seen proof of that 100 times over. So that's how I feel. Yeah.
And they go on to describe, you know, the details of all the intertwining of the moon project on Earth versus what they're doing up in the galactic. So, okay. Sorry, my notes are crawling. So, I wanted to call in some beings, Chris, or you two, today to get that helicopter panoramic view, a picture of how Earth, the moon, Mars, Venus, and our whole universe is interconnected already. It's just been kept secret from us. And how much life there is, like the ships going back and forth in this whole universe. Just would like to have a panoramic view of that. What do you think, Chris?
That would be good. You know, I've seen these things dozens of times. You know, so what I'm doing now is first I'm going to look at one thing in particular that was mentioned in that episode. And that would be the research vessels. Look into
let me just say the prayer of one and call any beings in that want to galactize with us during this today. Yeah, I was wanted to get a full view of the whole universe or galaxy, and then we're going to go into that too. So just calling the divine flame of living love and calling collective consciousness. We call in all the beings we've been galactizing with, ones that have come and ones that are observing and like to participate here in Raw Speaks, bringing forth more details of never heard before disclosure from Corey Good and David Wilcock, and incorporating the law of one, because we are all one, and I call the law of one the trumper of all laws. So thank you all for coming. We are all one. And when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who we are one with all that there is, we ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen through this show and all shows on Diamonds Network. And so it is, and so be it. And thank you that this is done. And that the highest good of all concerned information comes out, intel disclosure from this show. Thank you.
All right. The first being to show up is Raoul Tem, the golden-headed being. And I am seeing things from a viewpoint of looking above the entire galaxy. I can see the galactic core. I can see stars all bound together.
This is our galaxy, right? The galaxy Earth is on, correct? Okay.
Yes. I can see the whole galactic core. It looks almost like clouds are binding things together. I know it's not clouds, but almost like a mist. And then inside that mist, I'm seeing the veins that stretch through the whole galaxy and through the whole universe, binding everything together. And I'm looking down into one of these threads, and I'm seeing Earth, and I'm seeing the whole system bound by these same threads. And from what I understand, this is what all beings are using to transport themselves instantly to different places. It's through these veins of the universe, I call them, and veins and arteries, and very much like a highway system, but more set up like a circulatory system, and or neurons of a brain, and this just proves that we are all one, because this same network is within every living being, even plants, animals, everything. And from what he's showing me, they are now focusing on a single solitary spaceship that I'm seeing out in space. It's jet black colored. It looks like the shape of a manta ray, from what I can see, with a almost like a colored window on the top of it. Looks very odd. It looks like they can not open the window, but remove the coloring to where they can see out into space if they wanted to, kind of like almost like a sunroof. I know it's not a sunroof, but that's what it looks like to me. Now this looks like a small research vessel, and I'm looking inside, and it looks like where this small porthole of a window is almost like a galley or kitchen. And from what I can see, I see people eating. I see people, talking. I see, looks like a normal break room in, like, say, a company building that any workers would go into. And
can you ask? Can you ask what ship this is from? What faction?
Yes. Raoul Tem said Solar Warden. So this is of the Solar Warden faction. And let me look inside of this really quick. This looks like a smaller vessel. This isn't like a humongous ship. And just looks like there's one kitchen, and it looks like I'm looking for the bridge here. Yeah, I can see there's a group of pilots sitting in the front. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the bridge, and I can see a captain captaining the ship. And this looks like a very small research vessel. It goes underneath the galley on like a floor underneath. It looks like a 2-floor ship.
Could you ask what the research they do is? Or
yes, let me see.
Them or Raoul?
Yeah, I'll look. I'll ask Raul Tim. He said the scientific research they do is. I'll see what he has to say. Oh, he's asking to speak through me now, so that's what I'm doing. He says, "We are Ra. I am Raul Tim. We speak as one voice about this faction within this vessel of human interests. These people are not always kind, but they and their ways are leaving. The technology will be handed over to good people. The research being done here is not of the highest order. So therefore, these people must change and see the law of one is paramount. Yes, they see but do not understand. They are telepathic but do not hear us. We will show you what they have done." And now he's pointing me towards the sun. And they use the sun almost like a portal. And I'm seeing like a center spot opening up in the sun. And I'm asking him if this is a past thing or if it's in real time. And he says, past is what he's telling me. So he's just showing me what this particular vessel has done. And this crew has done. And it looks like they went to a different system through like a wormhole. And they came out, it looks like on the edge of a different galaxy. And I'm seeing a different galaxy in the background. I'm seeing it's like a purple colored galaxy. It has this luminescent purple look to it. And he is saying, Raul Tim is saying, we have seen them in the black, the darkness of space. We have seen them and watched and cried for who? For the ones they harmed. And it looks like they're pulling something out of the space itself. Like, oh God, it looks like they're heading towards a planet, but they are vacuuming something out of the atmosphere, like a gas. And they're using it as fuel. And but this gas is made up of sentient beings. And I don't believe these people know that they're harming people. Oh, I was just corrected. They do know they're harming someone. They don't care. And they're taking this gas, and that's these beings are being kept in a research lab within this vessel. And he just showed me the past as to what they did. So I'm zipping back to the present in real time.
Well, Raul Tim. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and he is showing me the vessel in real time, and he's showing me this lab where these people have taken these jars with these beings in them, and they look like gas, and it looks like they were taken to the moon station. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like they were taken several different places. Mars, Moon. Not Mars. Okay, Mars was not one of them. It was Moon and Earth. And it looks like they were traded to people, too. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know if it's more of a pet situation or if it's like they're using them as a power source or what.
Wow. Well, can I ask Raul Tim a question?
Mm-hmm.
Raul Tim, can me and Chris help them with the law of one? we can ask with the Law of One. What do you think? Because I know you're in a higher vibration.
Oh yes. The whole purpose of seeing this was to show the beings that were around them the Law of One, and they will set these beings free, and these beings will automatically be able to go back to where they came from, no matter where they're released at. So
okay, let's do this together. Raul Tim, if you could turn on the intercom system in that ship, please. And Chris and me and us three will pray the prayer of one. We just say that we are all one, and when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who we are, and we are one with all that there is, we ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen here in this research vessel, Solar Warden, for the highest good of all concerned. And so be it, and so it is. And thank you that this is done. And I ask for, yes.
Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
I just ask, too, for the highest good of all concerned to happen within the Solar Warden, the whole WHOLE Solar Warden group. Thank you.
And I'm seeing, as that was being done, there was this being in a jar that was crying out for help, and there was a woman holding this jar, and opened the jar up and let this being out. And since they're like gaseous energy and like plasma, they were able to just go through the roof of the ship and leave. But as we did the Law of One, I saw a bunch of these beings just leaving wherever they were on alien vessels, on the moon, Earth, and they're all kind of shooting back through that wormhole. At least the ones that survived are going through back to that wormhole, and they're going back to their point of origin.
Good.
Yes,
now, Chris, I want to, after you finish, I want to go talk to this. I want you to go talk to this captain of the ship regarding the Law of One, and then give him the sticker. Yep.
That's that was the plan. The woman that was there was this woman in a light blue, almost a sky blue uniform. I can see a patch on the uniform. I'm trying to see the emblem. And it's slightly unclear, but it looks like almost like a diamond or a triangle-esque shape within the patch. Very reminiscent of Star Trek, but with like star patterns and stuff on it. And let me see. Yeah, she was the first one I encountered when I saw these gaseous beings. And this isn't the first time I've encountered these gaseous beings either. But this woman is saying she was sad that they were doing this, but there were too many around her that were making them do it. So I'm going to look at her, and I'm going to look for the captain of the ship. It looked like she was on the bridge along. I can see the captain. He's a tall man, blonde hair, brown eyes, kind of a short spiked haircut, and she has brown hair and blue eyes, and she's I'd probably say about 5'8", 5'9". He looks like he's over 6 foot. And he's wearing one of these light blue uniforms too, like a flight uniform. And he's looking at me, and he heard they all heard, the entire crew heard the Law of One being played, no matter what part of the vessel or what you said. And let me see what he has to say here. And he says, he's questioning me. He's asking me why we have done this, and I said because holding those creatures was wrong. That's why. And
because there's lots of high entities that say, "Do not hurt the little children," and every living being is a child of God, and you guys are too.
Mm-hmm. The woman hears you, but it looks like he's going to have to take some convincing here. So, but let me. I'm talking to this man right now. I'm showing him the emotions that were put out by these beings, and I'm showing that to him. And that part of him was blocked off. That he wasn't really empathetic to anything, and he he has this "I was only following orders" mentality, like a soldier. And
right.
so what I'm doing is putting that into his head. I said, "This is what has been done. Don't allow this to happen anymore, no matter who gives you the orders." And he's sitting on the floor now. He kind of fell over and he's sitting on the floor, and I can see he gets it now. He's actually sobbing, and so is this woman. And I can see the other crew members in the back kind of looking at both of them, and they're all looking at each other. And I can hear their thoughts. They're all thinking, this isn't worth it. This is dumb. We didn't sign on to harm beings. We signed on to explore. And so what they're doing is they're all going to the captain and saying, let's do our own thing. Let's go out there and explore and not...
Tell them about the Alliance.
Yes. I'm telling them to join with the Alliance, either the alien one or the human one. And I can see the captain and the crew nodding their heads. And it looks like they're taking this patch that's on their uniform and just tearing it off and just throwing it on the floor. And I can see some of the crew is cheering. Some of the ones that did not want to actually do that to begin with are cheering. And it looks like they're seeking out the good guys. And I'm pointing out like good guys like Tyler and the rest of them. And this person says, well, they're on a different density. Like Tyler's on a different, he's in 5th density. And I told him, I was like, well, seek him out telepathically at the very least. And showed him what Tyler's vessel looked like and all of that. And it looks like they're going to in search of that. And I'm asking him if they had the capability of changing the vessel's vibration to go to different densities. And he says the capability is limited, but they can attempt it. And I'm asking them if they have what Corey calls a temporal drive in the vessel. And they said yes. And I said that equipment can be used to, if certain safeties are disabled, it can take the whole vessel to a different vibration. And that's what they're doing. They're looking. And they know how to do it. It's just they were forbidden from doing it.
And I ask you guys just to spread the word, make this Law of One go viral, if you would, in the whole Soul Warden faction. Use your creativity. You guys are creative. We're creators, all of us. And Chris, if you would, can we go to the beings that were saved, the group, and just talk about them about the Law of One, just like you did here? Yes,
I'll let these beings complete what they were going to say here, these people. And they said, and I pointed out what Tyler's vessel looked like and what he looked like and everything. And they said they know who I'm speaking of. It's just they couldn't get to him. I was like, well, now you have the capability. You're free agents. You can do what you want. And that's what they're doing. It looks like they're taking this vessel into like a rift that's taking them to a different vibration, and it's still within the solar system. I saw it kind of contort a little bit, and it looks like now they can see Tyler's people and some of the blue avians and such, and they're going to them. And so it looks like
Thank you guys. We love you guys, Solar Warden. Looks like we what?
It looks like we gained another ally with the Good Alliance. Let me see.
Stay tuned, Rahu Trim. I want to give a high five, us three, once we go to these other beings. Yes, thank you.
Now I'm switching over to the beings that were going back through that hole in the sun all the way back to that this world that was in this different galaxy, this purple-looking galaxy. And there's this world that's on the edge, outer rim, like how Earth is on the outer rim of the Milky Way. This world is on the outer rim of this purple-looking galaxy. And I'm seeing these beings emerge over there, and they're rejoining with the rest of them. They look like almost like smoke when you get up real close to them. And one of them's looking at me, and I'm handing them the Law of One symbol and the concept. and told them do not harbor judgment or malice or vengeance towards the people that have been hurting them. And I told them what just happened. They didn't see what had just occurred because they were leaving.
Yes, and forgive. Yes,
mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is great for you.
mm-hmm. They can understand what we're saying. It's just that they can't speak back, but in images. So they're showing me in images I recognize, like people praying, people shaking hands, things like that. So they understood. They understood because our thoughts were of that. So. Looks like the one that was looking at me just rejoined the whole collective, and I can see thousands of these things just going back to this purple-looking planet. And they're filling the skies in this planet. I don't know if this is like an Earth-like planet. It doesn't look like it. It has rock formations and such, but and it looks like liquid, but I don't think it's water. It looks it looks more like acid or something. I'm not sure what. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They got the law of one, yay! And the liquid looks like acid.
Yeah, it looks like acid. I can see it bubbling. I can kind of smell it too. And they said humans wouldn't be able to live in that atmosphere, but they can. And,
interesting.
And they're all home. They all went home, no matter where they were in existence. You know, they were let out of their jars.
Well, Raul, Tim, high five. Does he have anything to say? And then we'll go on. I want to take a little flight around the universe here for a minute. I got a couple things in mind, but yes, Raul Tim, thank you for bringing this in.
Okay. Yeah, and he says you are welcome. We are Ra. I am Raul Tim, and we are thankful for the finding of these people. These people suffer no longer. Thank oneness. And he's stepping back now.
Raul, Tim, thanks for being the eyes in the skies for us here. And thank you for collectivizing with us and we creating this together. And people are saved now. With the law of one, yay.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, Chris, Corey and David talk a lot about, the whole overview of this universe and probably beyond, I'm getting. But, how it's set up, like there's many colonies of, where people live like we do in the cities. There's colonies of, there's a few colonies up to 1 million people and, few with hundreds of thousands, colonies where people live, and then there's even like factories and facilities where they mass produce with people like from the colonies there, like we do here on Earth, kind of set up. They mass produce these technologies or whatever they mass produce. But also, where is the asteroid belt? Is that within this universe? Do you know, Chris?
Yes, it's within this system, and on previous Diamond calls, I said it was the pieces of an exploded planet, but they are being used. Some of them on the interior, the ones that are viable, are being used like factories. And
so I like you to go like I like to call in the being that could help Chris go to an asteroid. Specifically, I forgot the name, Chris, of this asteroid that crossed Earth in the last, either 2013 or 2014. I forgot that name of that asteroid. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the name, but I remember the event. Yes.
Yeah, the asteroid, and apparently there was some guys from a different country around the world that got a channeling that there was 2 major big ships in that asteroid. But anyway, and Corey says he's been inside an asteroid. So let's go take a trip around the asteroid belt, and Chris and the being whichever you want to bring us to. In the essence of disclosure, we're bringing out the real truth to the world that we haven't heard before. So whatever you can share with us, we'll work together in bringing about the golden age. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. The first being to come, even though Raoul Tim is still here, he's sitting on my floor in the doorway like he usually does. And the first person to come through was somebody from Darkfleet, and that's Rachel, one of the two women from before. And
hi, Rachel.
And both of them are here. Both of them are here. Crystal and Rachel are here. And let's see. And there are others behind them. Looks like some other person came from. Oh, well, the original person that we found in Darkfleet, Christopher. He's here. And it looks like I'm hearing the voices of the rest of them that we helped, and they're going to aid us in viewing these asteroid facilities. So I'm looking now to one in particular they're pointing out, and they're kind of on a mapping level. It's like they're slicing it open and showing me, kind of like a computer presentation in my head. They're showing me it's sliced open, and they're showing me where this one asteroid has different levels inside of it. And it looks like, how many floors does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels. And it looks like I'm seeing at the bottom level, I'll go from bottom to top. I see bottom level, it looks like there's a pool of liquid at the bottom. Oh, and they said it was like a type of acid. And I'm asking them what for, and they said for a reactor, for a power reactor. Like we'd have a factory or some kind of like power station here. And going further up, I'm seeing a floor up. I'm seeing almost like some mechanical servants, like robots, kind of moving like these little block formations around. It's hard to see. The light is very dim in here. But these beings can see in the dark, so I'm going to look through their eyes and see what the heck they're doing. And it looks like they're moving these little blocks around and kind of fitting blocks inside of these little shapes. It kind of reminds me of that kid's toy where you put the different shapes in the different holes. And but only these are blocks that they're shoving in there, and they're shoving them and they're dropping down into this acid. And they're melting, and the stuff they're putting off is causing a chain reaction, and it's creating power. And I'm asking them what they are doing. They said it's a type of fusion, not nuclear, but something else, some kind of fusion, that this chemical fusion of some sort. And I'm not necessarily a chemist or a scientist, so I'm not quite familiar with this process, but they're showing me a floor up from where these robotic beings are workers dropping these blocks off from a factory that's above these robots, and I'm seeing they're being almost like created in fire. I'm seeing like a boiler, and I'm seeing humans are there, but these humans don't look like they're workers. They look more like slaves to me. They don't look like they were there voluntarily.
Can you ask them what it is they're creating, the technology, what it does?
Yeah, yes. I'm coming to one of them almost like an apparition, and I saw his eyes kind of bug out like a cartoon character, so he wasn't expecting me. And I told him, don't be afraid of me, that I was human just like him. And I asked him what he was I'm asking what he's doing. He says creating power cubes or power boxes for. And I asked him what this power was being generated for. He says the system, like a fuel source for. Oh, he goes, no, not a fuel source, an actual power source for. He says batteries, like they're charging something up from this chemical reaction.
Okay, a power source for a system, something like batteries. Is that for the system galactic-wise, or for Earth, or for trading with other beings, or all of the above? All
of the above, he says. Some things that on like Earth, for instance, substance that we think are being manufactured in companies here are actually being created by slave labor out in the system.
Okay, what is the name of this asteroid?
The asteroid, this guy doesn't know. He just knows he's there. He doesn't know what it's called.
Okay, maybe you could find somebody who knows the name of it and when this was built, maybe.
Yes, yeah, I will. There's other people there, so I'm just going to call out to all of them. And I'll even ask the Dark Fleet people here if these guys don't know. These people don't know, so I'm going to ask Dark Fleet. And they said sometime in the 60s this was created.
They built this facility in the 60s, okay?
Yeah, the 60s going to 70s, kind of like mid to late, I think. And that's what Dark Fleet is telling me. And that these people here that are within this asteroid don't know anything outside of that. They're told very little, if hardly anything. And I'm telling them,
who is it that built the facility in this asteroid, and what is the name of the asteroid?
The Cabal created it. And
the Cabal, humans from Earth that went to out of Earth.
Yes, and the Cabal mixed with the Greys that had the ability to bore out the inside of the asteroid. And the Dark Fleet people are nodding their heads, yes. And the name of it, I'm just seeing a number pop up in my head. It's like this serial number, like a barcode, kind of like we'd have a barcode for like groceries.
Yeah, the people who look at asteroids, maybe they're probably numbered. So let's mention that number. Okay,
I'm just seeing it's a number that keeps shifting, kind of like a counter. It's like this shifting barcode that's going back and forth. I'm seeing it looks just like a SKU number you'd see at a store, and I'm seeing that vessels can go by it and identify like a particular asteroid by the barcode, like they just scan it like we would groceries, and they know if what's being produced there and how much of something is being produced there.
Okay, I just want to call in any being that knows the name of this asteroid as we know it on Earth, and they could come in too. And then we only got like less than a half an hour already, Chris. This goes fast. Mm-hmm. So I want to take a tour to we'll call it the slave labor colony and a colony, the corporate owned colonies, where the big rich people live, like on Earth. And so is there anybody there that knows the name of this asteroid that we know it on Earth?
Let me see. Yeah, I'll ask the Dark Fleet people. They said it has no name. It's just a number designation.
Okay, so do we have it listed on information on our internet in Earth, or is it so small that it's not named?
They said it looks like a fairly big one. It's just a number designation. Only the people out in the system would recognize. It's nowhere on our internet anywhere. So
okay, because there's probably many pieces out there called asteroids. And by the way, asteroids, they come close to Earth. They have, what are they called, peptinoids. They give off a essence of, good energy. They help in expanding our consciousness, too. That's why that story with that one asteroid 2013, 2014, that came to Earth, that's why I asked about it, because it came close to Earth and it helped expand our consciousness. But as it came, there was two big ships, or a big ship inside the asteroid, and helped steer it so it was safe from us on Earth, so it wouldn't cause earthquakes and stuff too. Mm-hmm. And they use it to watch Earth too.
Yeah, this one, what I'm seeing here is I'm giving the people that these slave labor, I'm showing them the law of one, and I asked them if this can be input into a computer there, and they said no. But there is a better technology for something like that on the outer wall of the asteroid, where the ICC ships go by and scan the different asteroids like a grocery item. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the law of one symbol into that scanning device that I'm looking at. It looks like a small slit in the outer wall, and I'm inputting that symbol into this slit. and I'm watching these like white bands surround this asteroid. And this is interesting. When I did that, it's connected to a whole network of asteroids that have this same system, and I can see like a lightning like beam going pinging from one to another, and it's illuminating all the ones that have factories on them. And
and I want to expand that law of one to all the asteroid belt, every single asteroid in the asteroid belt. The law of one says the highest good for all concerned. So you asteroids out there, because everything's living, you guys, you're under the highest good of all concerned now, and so no harm, big harm for anything. But I just want to explain the highest good of all concern doesn't necessarily mean that we'll see what we call good or what we call, I don't know how to explain that. It's just the highest good of all concerned. It may not be what you expect, but it's the highest good of all concern for you, like if you pray personally for a problem and you have to go through a fire to get to your goodness, so to speak. That was the highest good of all concern because you learned lessons and grew from that oppression. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm seeing this going from asteroid to asteroid into their system of the scanning, and I'm seeing a reverse beam hitting one of the ICC ships, and it just struck one of the ICC ships, and I see it didn't change its trajectory. It just went off into the system into like a black part of space. But let me look back for a second at the people in this asteroid. It looks like they're sitting around, they're kind of standing around, wondering what they've been doing, and I'm telling the original crew that we ran into earlier, I'm sending like a telepathic message to them and to the Dark Fleet people to go pick these people up, that they're slave labor, and the Dark Fleet people that are here with me says they're going to send somebody out that way fairly soon when they get the opportunity to go out that way and see if they can free these people from the ICC conglomerate people. And
so in this particular asteroid that you're describing, and there's that slave labor, do they have their living colonies inside the asteroid, so they're there all the time, or is there living colonies outside the asteroid?
Yes, it looks like several asteroids are used for living quarters. I'm seeing factories and I'm seeing living quarters, and they're all close proximity to each other.
Okay, so they must all keep their slave labor right in, so they can't travel around. That's probably the only world they know.
Yeah. I'm assuming they came from Mars. I'm going to ask one of them if they came from Mars. They just don't know where they are or where they go. They're completely left in the dark. Let me see, until now that is. But it looks like there's a ship approaching the asteroids, and I'm seeing this. I recognize the configuration. This is a Dark Fleet vessel. It has this triangular moving ship, kind of like, it almost looks like a leaf in a way, and it's docking to this asteroid, and I'm seeing people going from the asteroid, being transported from that asteroid to the Dark Fleet ship, and the people here that are standing to my left are telling me that since we've been talking, they're sending people into that sector of space that's normally completely ICC controlled, and looks like they are attempting to get into the asteroid belt to get the other people that are out there from both living quarters and factories. And I'm seeing where they're bringing them.
The whole asteroid belt, all the slave labor in the whole asteroid belt.
Yes, it looks like there's dozens of these factories throughout the asteroid belt.
Oh my God, Chris, do you know what that means? They're factories, and they won't have any workers. What are they going to do? Uh-oh.
Looks like they got to do it themselves.
I'm glad we're leaving the law of one. So let's leave the law of one somehow where they'll see it too. The ones that are ruling over the slave labor and all those asteroids are even puppets too, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So we could leave the law of one somehow for them.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm stamping it in the energy on the outside of the asteroids, and since there's technology wrapping the outside of some of these asteroids, they'll be able to see it when they scan that facility for its barcode number. All they're going to get is that symbol, and instead of a number. And so every one of these factories, I'm stamping it with this law of one symbol, and I can see these dark fleet people kind of clapping and cheering and stuff like that. So
yay! High five, guys! Yay!
And yeah, I see all of them, and then Raoul Tim is sitting in the background here, smiling. He's been doing that the whole time. And let me see here. Yeah, and I can see an ICC vessel coming, and it's this jet black, almost like shellcraft looking vessel. I'm seeing a pilot, and he's dressed in a black pilot's uniform, jet black. It has a jet black visor. I can barely distinguish the pilot from the vessel, and he's not happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to telepathically put the law of one in his head, just like I do with the Draco, and it looks like he's veering off and going back into the system somewhere.
Well, really quick, Chris, I'd like you to, and the beings go with Chris, let's go to another part of the universe. I'd like just to get like a 2-minute description of like the slave labor colonies, how they live, and let's go into a colony where the higher ups live and get a couple-minute description of that. And, yeah, if we could do that. And then into a factory somewhere in the universe that we've built beyond the Earth in collaboration with other beings, many other types of beings.
Okay. I'll look into the living quarters of the slave labor first. I'm seeing several people asleep, but it looks like, though the Dark Fleet people, let me see, it looks like I'm seeing somebody in a Dark Fleet uniform approach them and tap them awake and say it's time to go. But the conditions they were living in, I can see almost like a heating element nearby because it's more likely cold on the interior of this.
Okay, where is this in the universe? Kind of, if you could say what
this is
by
the
what
asteroid
planet
belt.
or
this is
where?
the asteroid belt still. This is the asteroid belt. And,
you're in an asteroid living quarter.
Yes, and what I'm seeing was it's set up almost like a very small apartment, almost like it's almost like a studio apartment, and I'm seeing one person per unit, and I can see doors opening up inside. It's almost set up like a really cramped apartment or jail cell, if you like, and with just a single heating element and a bed. There's like no entertainment or anything like that. It's just them, heating element, bed, and it looks like a jail cell.
And then the eating quarters, where's that at? And what kind of food, real quick?
Okay, bottom floor of this place, it's the galleys all the way at the bottom I'm seeing, and it's a very cramped little area. It looks like how a prison would be set up with a bunch of people that are just eating slop, basically. It's this. I wouldn't even say this is food. This is their conditions are deplorable, but the good guys are coming in for them. So
is there any kind of entertainment or just relaxation place in there or anything that's provided for them?
No. This
Nothing?
is complete prison conditions. Prison conditions.
Wow.
And so I'm going to switch gears. I know they're being rescued now, so I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to see how these ICC conglomerate people live. And
now I don't know. Do they have a living facility in one of the asteroids?
No.
These higher up? Okay.
No.
Tell us where it is. Yeah.
It looks like they have, I'm seeing a moon somewhere. Let me see. I'm seeing, okay, hang on. I'm getting some interference here. Get rid of that. Looks like some really telepathic pilot was coming at me again. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing, okay, there's an office I'm seeing that is within the asteroid belt, kind of like where a curator or some kind of director or foreman, if you will, or warden would stay. I'm seeing this person, and I'm tracing back to see where he goes when he leaves there. And it looks like he jumps over to Mars, and then he goes to the moon facility, fills out some I don't know if it's paperwork or what here. Then this person comes to Earth, and I'm seeing where this office is on Earth. It's easier to scan things on Earth than in the system here. So I'm checking where this guy transports to, and it looks like he goes to different places all the time on Earth, like major cities. I'm seeing where I'm looking.
Hotel or apartment?
Yeah. It looks like he stays in luxurious places, hotels and such. But I'm seeing where he
Oh my
actually.
God! Really?
Stays.
Wow, this is a shocker.
Yes, I'm seeing this person's on Earth. I'm getting a world map. I'm going to see where this dot lights up on the map. In fact, I'm going to ask the Darkfleet people here where exactly he just lays down at night. Here.
More intertwined to doing all this out of Earth than even humans are. Wow.
Mhm. Yes, and this person comes back to Earth all the time, from what I understand it. So I'm not seeing what this person looks like per se. They're just saying person. They're not giving the Darkfleet's not telling me right off the bat, because I think what they're doing is they want to protect us right now. So they're not telling me who this individual is. So what?
Did you hear that helicopter? The black helicopter. Hi, love you.
Yeah,
really. One sticker on you.
Let's see. Yeah, on a world map, I'm seeing some familiar environments here, and they said look closely to where this guy. Oh, okay. I just saw. They showed me Italy, and it looks like this individual or people like him stop by in the Vatican. I'm seeing Vatican City is what I'm looking at, and I'm asking what he's doing there. And they said he's checking in.
Check in there. A couple check-in points. That's
a check-in point. Vatican City is. Vatican City is a check-in point, but I want to know where he goes when he goes to sleep at night, where his home base is. And so I'm asking that, and they're showing me he uses a transport point it looks like it's underground underneath the Vatican. I'm seeing a computer panel that takes him down, and it looks like he got on a tram system that's underneath the ground, underneath the Vatican and Italy. And it's taking him north. Where's it taking him? Okay, it's taking him further north, extremely further north. And I'm seeing a map of the world now where this waypoint is taking me, and it looks like it's somewhere. They just told me it was somewhere in China.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's going all over the place. These people really cover their tracks and compartmentalize as they go along. So
okay. I want to know, how long does it take him from getting off of work and ruling the slave labor to doing this whole process? What's about the time span to get home, leaving work and going home from the galaxy out there somewhere and all the way to Earth?
I would say probably an hour. Where he stops at the different places, does his thing, does his paperwork and stuff like that, and he just takes. It doesn't take that long to travel. It just he does things as he goes.
Okay, I want to take a trip now, really quick. Go back to the Vatican real quick. Let's stamp. Let's put this Law of One symbol somewhere. Where do you want to put it, Chris?
I'll just stick it on the lift that he took down into the underground tram system. I'm going to stamp it there, and then on the outside of the Vatican in energy form, I'm going to stamp it there. Okay.
Now let's go all the way back to when he left work. When he left work, what did he do? Take a ship?
Yes.
And went to the moon.
He went to Mars to drop something off, then he went to the moon, and then
those are by ship.
One of them to Mars. It was a ship. From Mars, it looked like it was a transportation system, and then he transported back to Earth.
Okay.
And that's from what it looked like from my perspective. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to see what he looked like completely. He was in shadow. The Darkfleet people weren't letting me.
That's for safety.
It looks like, yeah.
That's for safety. And so we didn't actually see. We'll do it another call. A corporate colony or whatever you want to call it, corporate living, how they live out in the galaxy. So we got a surprise here today. They live on Earth. He lives on Earth, or he sleeps on Earth anyway, and goes back when he's working. Okay, and we did see a factory in the asteroid belt too. I wanted to see if we can go out into the universe, our universe, and describe, if we could find what Corey says that he worked on, a scientist ship. They called it the Egghead ships. Let's find an Egghead ship and just go in there. Let us know where you find it in the galaxy.
Okay, I'm seeing the interior of one that I remember seeing when I watched that episode of Cosmic Disclosure. I could see some of the interior of one, so I'm looking for that template, no matter where it is in the galaxy here. And I'm seeing one. It looks like it is near Jupiter, and I'm seeing a vessel that's what would be described as an egghead ship, and I'm seeing scientists working on something. I'm trying to see what they are working on. I'm seeing like this lab that they're kind of all hovering around this table. But that's the lab portion. It looks like it is towards the bottom of the vessel, and I'm seeing other floors, like how Corey describes it. They almost look like the interior of a submarine. I'm seeing that and mix it with the interior of a building. That's what this looks like to me. And I'm even seeing desks where people are sitting at, like you'd expect. There's a couple offices, and I'm seeing. So if they film something there, like what David was bringing up to Corey, if they film something there, they think they're filming something in a building. And let me see here.
So what particular science do they do there? Could you ask one of the beings that are with you, Chris, or somebody?
Yeah, I'll ask one of the Dark Fleet. I'll ask one of the Dark Fleet ones. And they're saying. Looks like they're saying science of exploration. They just want to know more. These people seem to be good people. They don't seem to. They seem kind. They don't seem belligerent like the ICC.
Are they different beings from different planets, or are there humans on there, or a mixture, or what?
They look like all humans right now. I'm going to look a little further and see if I see some aliens. I don't really see any aliens on board this particular ship, but I'm seeing.
Are these humans from Earth?
Yes, it looks like they're on their 20-year stint out there in the galaxy.
20 year and back, like Corey.
Yeah, 20 year back. Yeah, that's what it looks like they're doing. And I'm seeing mostly scientific pursuits taking place on this ship. Like I can see samples of plants. Samples of, I can see little animals. I can see they're studying different genomes. It looks like they're looking through microscopes and such, and they're looking at microbes that are on there. It looks like the reason they're near Jupiter is that's a stop-off. So looks like they're delivering data to somebody else of something they found. I'm seeing what they found here. It looks like. What did they find? It looks like some kind of microbe that I'm going to ask the Dark Fleet people what this could possibly be. And they said this is a virus of some sort that they're looking at.
Oh, okay. Now, if it's okay, I just wanted to put the point, because this is a pertinent point for disclosure and painting the picture. Corey mentioned, when he was there, when he did his 20 and back, the humans that are brought from Earth for a long period of time or a short period of time, were completely cut off from internet, from even knowing what's going on Earth, from anything, internet, or any communication even. So I wanted to ask one of the beings that are with you, Chris, could they give us a time span when, they couldn't, with the internet thing from Earth, like a human being would be taken off Earth, whether they knew it or not, and I think they were tricked into it, a lot of them, and didn't know till the last minute, something I'm going to bring in on Monday, Chris. And just a time span of when they weren't cut off completely from Earth, and how that is now today, and when did that happen? If they can get Earth internet now, the slave labor part, and even the corporate too. Okay,
yeah, well, the time frame that they were completely cut off looks fairly quick to me. Looks, I don't want to say instantaneous, but they went from one place to another place fairly rapidly. Like they'd spend maybe a day getting their sea legs out there somewhere, and then they'd get assigned somewhere and then get assigned somewhere else, and then they'd find their permanent posting, it looks like. Because I'm seeing some people that are just grabbed. I'm seeing people just grabbed in some cases, not just not signing up for something. Some people are just taken. From what
the missing milk carton children, right?
Yeah, in that way. Some of them were experimented on, like what I found out with the whole Montauk thing. Some are abducted by aliens. Others are just grabbed and put into service on one of these ships, and they have no idea how long they've been there. And they have no, in some cases, sometimes they do know, but they can't do anything about it. They're kind of trapped there until these people let them go. But then over time, they get to looking into some of the things they're looking at, that they're around, and figure, okay, maybe we can do some good here. And eventually, they are put back, but they do stay out there for at least their 20-year period. In some cases, some are completely cut off for the whole time. Some just before, but most of the time it looks like for that 20-year period. Sometimes their memories are erased when they're put back. Other times they get to keep their memories, like Corey did, but not all the time. Corey's lucky; he got to keep his memories intact.
Yeah. The internet, when they're there to be completely cut off of Earth and what's going on, and even if they have family, they're cut off from them too. Can we describe that from one of the beings there, or?
Yeah, I'll ask the Dark Fleet people that are right here with me. They said, let me see what they said. Sometimes their families think they're dead, is what they're telling me, and they think they've died in some cases, and then they'll return 20 years later, and their families are in for a surprise. But that's what it looks like in some cases. It's not all cases. It's just if they get desperate for personnel, they'll just grab people and then they post them as missing or dead.
Yeah, and I want to say, or now that we have the law of one, they appear because they reappear because the law of one was found them. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
and the internet, they were able to not watch, and then now they have a limited thing to Earth internet. And when did that start? And all that.
That looks like it was fairly recent, but like what Corey explained, they can only read stuff. Like if they want to read a book that's online, or if they want to catch up on things that are going on Earth, they can look at it, but they can't interact with it. Like they can't get on Facebook and type comments and stuff like that. They can't do that part. It just looks like somebody's tried, like on one of those glass pads. Somebody has tried to type in, but there's no keyboard in which to do it. They can only swipe their finger across things and read things. From what I can see here, I'm looking at one of those glass pads right now, and it looks very interesting. Where they see these things in almost like a holographic format on this pad. Like we would have like an iPad, but this thing is I would say a little larger than that, not much. And it's just a rectangle. It looks like a rectangle of plexiglass is what it looks like.
Yeah, and Corey said they're controlled by mind thought, too, like each person using it.
Yes, and people can swipe their hand over it, like how we do. They don't have to actually touch it. They can just swipe their finger if they feel they have to do that motion with their hand, like a reflex. But then they can also do it with their brains as well.
Okay, what else is different about that glass pad technology that's different from our internet? Could you ask the Dark Fleet or anybody there?
Yeah, they said, I'm asking how far ahead is it from what we have. They said, Rachel and Crystal are saying by leaps and bounds. They said this is so far ahead it might as well be the Star Trek world, because that's how far ahead this technology is from anything on Earth that any of the public possesses. So when they get a hold of this technology, they're going to be extremely shocked or extremely surprised by it.
Well, I've heard from Julian Wells that maybe I can ask Rachel and our other woman from Dark Fleet. Is this one of the technologies slated to be released to humanity once everything's ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, they're saying yes. This will be given along with like all the replicator system. Anything scientific is going to be handed over. Any sort of vessels are going to be handed over. Everything.
Now,
describe
this splash pad. How much more will it change our life than the internet that we have now, the computers that we have now? How's it going to make it easier?
Things are going. There's never going to be any disconnect from anything. You know, like say you have Wi-Fi, for instance. These things may not look like much. They may look like just a piece of glass or plexiglass, but they're far superior to any computer. Like, you wouldn't need cords for anything. You wouldn't need to charge anything. It's self-powering. And let me see. I'm looking at the inner workings of this thing and see if I can see circuitry within this thing. I'm seeing almost a glow in the center of this. I'm looking at it at a certain axis plane just to see if I can see what its interior workings are. And I can see a bunch of glowing circuitry beneath it that it looks like it's a series of antennae that are along the edges of the square or the rectangle. And they could literally touch these things to each other and pass knowledge to them, or they can just take it and swipe an image, with their mind over to a different pad to send it to somebody. Like if somebody wants to send a picture, they can just say, "Here you go," and it's right there. You don't have to go through a lengthy process to do that, like email or anything like that.
And just press one little button, huh?
Yeah, one little button, or just swipe it over, and it's instantly to somebody.
What about when we talk to people? Can we call them and we can just see them if we wanted to?
Yes.
We don't have to sign up for any system or anything?
Yeah, we could just see them like on a view screen with this pad technology. TVs and computers will be totally different. I
heard this screen is like a little bit holographic. Images come out a little holographic.
Yeah, it's almost like a 3D image that I'm looking at, where people are looking at this. People are going to be severely impressed with this technology. It'll be interesting to see how the public reacts to this, because it's far greater than anything we have. Like also with phones, for instance, like we have cell phones, won't need anything like that. This technology will completely encompass all of it.
Okay, well then if you listen to all that, then when we get this technology, that's our phones, that's our internet communication, but then we also have telepathy and the third eye coming on. But that's going to literally wipe out all the corporations, all the different kind of computer companies, IBM, and those are corporations actually run by bad people, and the workers are the slave labor, us, working the 40-hour grind. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything the two women like to say, or anybody that's with you, Chris, and that's really on their heart? And be sure to go to diamondswithan4ever31.blogspot.com to see all our show times. We have them on Thursdays and Mondays also, and special series coming out, and the YouTube links are on that blog. So anybody have a word that wants to speak?
Yes.
And what do they think about the cosmic disclosure David and Corey doing, and then us and others too? Any advice, anything? Thanks.
Yeah, the overall message here is they're extremely impressed that people would kick this up to this next level, like we do, like Corey and David, like Jerry Wills, like any of these people, like Julian Wells, all of them, anybody, Raymond, all of them, everybody that would inform like this and actually stay the course no matter what happens to them. I can feel this overwhelming sense of pride coming from them. Like they're proud of the work that's being done, and they want to see it continue on until full disclosure takes place?
Well, we are disclosure. We are full disclosure, full throttle ahead. And full disclosure, when full disclosure takes place, that means all you whistleblowers out there, please, now you have the trumper, the law of one. And so don't be afraid to come on out and create your own disclosure, yes, of what you have experienced. Don't hide it. Bring it to all of us and share it with us so we can continue to awaken.
Yes.
Is there anything else?
No, it looks like they are pulling back right now. They'll return it at a later time when we do another show.
Thank you, guys. And Chris, anything you want to say to end the show?
I believe we covered it.
So this is show 4 of Diamonds Network, Raw Speaks, going through episode 4 of Cosmic Disclosure. Until next time, keep shining and keep disclosing, keep whistleblowing. Love you guys.
Are you looking for healing or a change in your life to help you enjoy it more fully? You might benefit from a galactic energy reading and clearing from Chris Jacobs. Chris will work with you on a soul level to clear unseen negative influences, implants, programs, contracts, and energetic blocks. Chris Jacobs is a gifted energy healer. Contact him today at ChristopherStephenJacobs@gmail.com.